Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you for joining us today. Let's come into a comfortable place. Settle your bodies into the earth and begin to feel yourself immersed with nature. Bringing special attention to the feel of the breeze on your skin. Welcoming the air element of nature, the wind, the breeze. And sensing into the felt experience of sound. Sound of the wind, the sound of the birds, and the sound of the trees and the branches and the leaves. And the sounds of the traffic in the background and the sound of silence, encompassing all of it. Feel this earth and its strength and its support. A solid surface, gentle support at all time available to us. And open yourself up to receiving as you rest in the light of your being. Let the heart space soften, open a little. Let the belly soften. And as you find that nice long spine, find the relationship between that long spine and an open heart. And find the middle in your posture so that you're supported by that spine, while at the same time feeling soft and open. The middle between effort and ease. Take a breath in and a breath out. One more time. And out. Good, and start to slowly now move the body as you awaken the body. There's the opportunity to find some organic motion. And at some point, you can make your way onto your backs if you're not there already. And as you come onto your backs, just looking upwards and seeing the tiny bit of sunlight coming in through the branches, through the tree. And maintaining that openness around the heart as you bend your knees and plant your feet and begin to slowly rock side to side. As you take in that light twinkling through and close your eyes, it might remain with you in your awareness internally, and maintain that resting sensation in the light, resourcing the light. At some point, pull your knees towards your chest. Give your knees a squeeze as you press your sacrum down towards the ground. And then take your knees out to the sides and circle through into some circular breaststrokey-like motions. And then switch directions. Good. At some point, extend your left leg all the way down and pull your right knee towards your chest and then out towards the right and back towards the center, and then extend the right leg over towards the left into a little bit of a twist. Back to the center again. Let the knee rock towards the right. Coming back through to the center. Elongate the right leg through and twist. Do that a couple more times. Inhale and open. And exhale and turn and twist as you elongate that leg. Bend again and open. And again, twist and extend. As you bend the bottom knee under and a little bit more towards the left. If the extended leg does not feel supportive, you can bend it, stacking it on top of the other knee. Coming back through to the center, switching legs. Extend the right leg all the way down, activate the heel into the earth, flex the ankle, pull the left knee towards the chest with a squeeze. Take the left knee towards the left with the in-breath. As you breathe out, pull it back to the center and extend it towards the right into a twist. Bend again and take this motion back and forth a few more times. Eventually settling into your stretch like we did on the other side. If some ankle turning motions start to happen organically as you make this move, let that. Notice where your attention went, and if your attention is somewhere in your thoughts, and come back to the feel of the grass beneath your body, the sounds of the birds and the light peeking through, the white and the green, the fresh smell of nature. Wonderful. Come back through to the middle and take your soles of the feet together. Separate the knees into Baddha Konasana Elongate the arms all the way through, overhead with a big stretch. Make fists with hands. Circle your wrists around. And switch directions. And then taking your way over with a bit of a rock and rolling up and down. Eventually coming up into a seated position. We'll take an Om together just to acknowledge our gathering together today. Take a breath in, breath out, inhale. Wonderful. As you open your eyes, make your way slowly back into a extended legged position now. Taking the feet to the outside edges of the mat. And a few kind of motions back and forth, hinging forward and elongating back. And then extend your left arm all the way up. Make a kickstand behind your right hip with the other arm. And then slowly turn all of your bottom half of the body as well as the top into a twist. Come back through and do it on the other side. And start out with some gentle twisting motions. And see how the repetitive motion in the twist will sooner or later start to loosen up the spine. Just feel into that as it happens. And be present with your body as the openings are happening, as the elongation is happening, also as the strength is happening. Good. And come back with kind of a crisscross legged position and let that bring you to a table pose. A few motions of arching and curling the spine. Letting that flower and blossom into a downward dog eventually. Taking your time to get there. No rush. Feel into the sensation of each foot at a time as you pedal. Feel into sensation of the calf muscles and the entire superficial back line of the body. From the heel all the way up to the sits bones. And down your back all the way to your neck. Shift forward in a plank pose and hold the plank for a moment. Feel into your strength, your core strength here. And take your time to lower down onto your forearms to find your core center here. Activating into your core as you engage your legs and your glutes muscles, pressing the floor away, pulling the navel in and up. Deepen breath. And with the out breath, lower the hips and come into a Sphinx pose. And walk your legs back a little bit at a time so that you're really nicely elongating through the chest. But we're going to set it up where your big toe is activating into the ground and your little toe is activating into the ground. Your legs are engaging. Track upwards towards the hips. Find the pelvic floor and engage the pelvic floor. And then find that belly lock, the Uddiyana Bandha, and pull the navel in and up. And then activate those elbows into the earth and draw them isometrically back. Let the neck be loose. Breath in, breath out. One more in breath and out. And slowly make your way back into a reverse plank. So press yourself up in a reverse push-up. Hold yourself in the plank. Feel that fire again. And then press back to your downward facing dog. Reach your right leg up towards the sky with the inhale. And find that nice long elongation as you root down through your left foot. Reach a little higher with the right leg. Bring the knee towards the chest, curl it. And do it 3 more times. Inhale back. Exhale forth. Last one. And step forward for warrior 1. Find the stability of both feet and the feet hip distance apart. Rise up with the arms. Breath in. With the breath out, reach those arms forward and back towards your rib cage. Inhale, extend, elongate. Exhale, bend and hinge. Inhale, extend the front leg, root down and grow tall. And exhale, bend. 3 more, in and out. Last one, in and out. Now as you hover, extend the arms back and start to take some biceps and triceps curls forward and back, really feeling into those muscles, pressing those forearms against your midline. The elbows are pointing in one line behind you as you go up and down. And squeeze. Each time you go back, squeeze really hard. And each time you go forward, squeeze. For 5, keep active in that front leg. Feel your right glute. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Rise up, elongate the front leg. Breath in. Turn to the side, and then come into warrior 2, but using your left leg. So you're going to turn towards the back and find warrior 2 on the other side. And a nice spacious length around the arms. Look towards your right shoulder and then your left. And then reverse your warrior with a breath in. On the breath out, come into your side angle lunge. Now start to spaciously circle through that top arm, bringing it down towards your hip, all the way down towards the ground, forward and up. Circle through nice and slow, feeling the entire range of motion. A couple more times. Good. And now extend the left leg for triangle pose. Now in your triangle, I'm going to have you release your right arm down towards the ground and press your butt back and walk your hands just slightly off the mat to stretch that left leg. So you're going to hinge and draw the hips back to get into your inner thigh without locking your right knee. Maybe you start bending and extending that left knee, actually. That might feel really nice. Just getting into the depth of your inner thigh and hip. And then from here, adjusting the placement of the left foot so that it faces the wide edge of the mat, and walking your hands over towards your right leg again to come into a runner lunge together, facing me. And frame the foot with the hands or the blocks, and just bend and extend a couple of times into that front leg. The next time you bend it, stay and twist to the right. Feel a deep breath in and a long breath out. One more in breath. On the out breath, release the hand back down to the ground and step the right leg up and back in a three-legged dog. Maybe this time you dial your hip open as you activate your right hand firmer into the earth. Maybe a flip dog happens where you feel supported as you flip. Coming back through, come into a plank pose. Hold the plank and bring your toes or feet to the outside edges of the mat. Engage your core really, really strongly. Separate your arms too so you have a nice foundation. Squeeze your legs so much and your glutes so much and start to tap right and left in your plank. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then lower down onto your elbows and bring your feet together on your elbows. Now tap to the right and back, and tap to the left and back. 3 more. Tap and back, tap and back. 2 more. Tap, tap. Last one. Tap and tap. Lower your hips. Come into Sphinx again. Activate the the big toe into the ground and the little toe. Elongate the legs, engage the quads, the glutes. Engage the pelvic floor. Pull the navel in and up. Activate the elbows into the ground and back. And breathe. Feel the breeze. Good. Now, coming your way into locust pose, lower the lowermost ribs, expand the arms, and lift the legs. And really find strength that's building in your back. You should feel it by now. All those muscles are activated. We're also recruiting the glutes. We're making sure that the breath is flowing fluidly. Good. Now release back down. Press yourself back up to plank and to your downward facing dog. And enjoy this counter pose. The left leg will rise to the sky with the inhale. Root down a bit firmer to reach higher. And then bring your knee to the chest, curl it. Lengthen back 3 more times. And curl. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. And step forward, warrior one. Keep the back foot strongly active, facing forward, feet hip distance. Sink into that front leg. Make fists with hands, circle them through. And bring them opposite to one another like this, kind of pressing against one another. And circle them through. Now activate your back foot into the ground firmer, as well as the front. And hinge forward. And reach up. Extend the front leg as you reach up. Inhale. With the exhale, hinge forward again, bringing the elbows back towards the ribs. Inhale, lift. Exhale, draw back. 2 more. As you hover, stay here. Hug those elbows tighter towards the midline and start to go back and forth with some biceps and triceps activating movements. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rise up. Inhale. Extend through the front leg as you turn. And turn to warrior 2 on the other leg. Shrug the shoulders up and down. Look to the right. Look to the left. Flip the front palm and reverse your warrior. Deep breath in. Sink a little deeper into that front leg and reach higher, shine brighter. Come back through into a side angle. And as you elongate the top arm, start to draw it down towards your hip and all the way to the ground and forward, all the way back up, down and around. The slower the better. Good, and from here, find that triangle pose. Nice long right leg. Shoulders are soft. Sounds of the birds are still with us. Feet are touching the ground firmly. Roots are growing under, metaphorically. And then we shift the hips back and drop the hands forward on the ground and start to kind of bend and extend through that right leg. And from here, coming into a wide-legged fold. And just holding the fold here for a bit. And then eventually you're going to walk your hands towards your left leg. Come into a runner lunge. Feet are hip distance apart. Bending and extending through that other leg 3 times before the twist to the left. One more in-breath. On the out-breath, release. Plant palms and step back in a 3-legged dog again, maybe a flip dog. Coming back through into a plank pose. Hold a strong plank with the in-breath. And with the out-breath, lower the knees. Keep the chest drawn forward. Hug the elbows towards the midline. And take 10 push-ups. 10. 9. 8. 7. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Lower all the way to the ground. And heel your feet back all the way. Make a kickstand with your left forearm as you bend your right knee. Rest your forehead on your arm for a quad stretch. hug in towards the midline and elongate your right knee backwards. And switch legs. Let's slowly release and press yourself up into a table pose. Take a few arching and curling. And then slowly curl the toes under. Extend the hips up and back in downward dog. Bend the knees a lot. Press your hips back. Look forward with the in-breath. With the out-breath, walk or float forward in a forward fold. Slowly rise up to standing. Activate your feet firmly into the ground for Tadasana. Palms come to the heart space. And remember what we did, the activation that we did in Sphinx pose, how we started with the feet. Now, same thing here. Feel the ball of the big toe and the ball of the little toe under the ground, above the ground, and then your heels. And really firm those up down into the earth. Feel the engagement of your legs. Engage also that kind of pelvic floor action. Uddiyana Bandha. Just coming into that neutral spine. Feel the breeze on your skin. And notice where in your body you're holding on to tension. See if you can let that release down to the ground. And we'll take a chair pose. Let your hips draw back as you sink down. Maintain that same action in that pelvic floor and navel pulling in and up. And kind of the tucking under slightly of the tailbone so that you're not arching your tailbone back. And then take your arms behind you, palms facing down, shoulders relaxed. For 3, 2, and 1. We're going to bring the palms back to heart space as you shift your weight into your right leg, lifting the left leg through, and taking it up and over to the side into a stretch. Find that depth and expansion at the same time. And this traction away from one another in the arms. Come back through. Resituate yourself on one leg. And then grab a hold of your ankle for a quad stretch. Preparing for dancer pose. Nice and slow. Before you go anywhere, you're going to tuck the tailbone under. And then start to press back with the foot at the same time as hinging forward. For 3, keep pressing back. 2, 1. I'm going to have you land back in a crescent. So release the leg back, hip distance. Bend the back knee, tuck the pelvis under. And as you dip down, twist to your right. And then come on back up and expand those arms overhead. Breath in. Breath out. Dip and twist. Breath in. 2 more. Down, dip, and twist. Breath in. And out. Good. Walk the back foot forward slightly, dial the back heel down. And we're going to take it into a Parsvottanasana pose. From there, transitioning into a revolved half moon. So the progression looks like this. You're first coming down, then you're coming onto one leg. Maybe this is where you stay, or you twist to the right. So starting out with Parsvottanasana, activate feet firm into the ground. Keep the hips facing forward and traction out the feet as you bow. And stay here for a few breaths. Now slowly start to shift your weight forward if you wish. You could also stay in Parsvottanasana the whole time. You're either coming into a standing split and staying there, or you're turning towards the right into a twist. Placing your hand on a block or a water bottle could be helpful. And even micro bending the right knee a little might be helpful. Coming back down and landing the foot back again. This time come into a wide-legged stance once more. And take the left heel in as you sink down into Skandasana, elongating through the right leg. Bend the left knee. Go to the other side. Yeah, you guys go to the other side. Yeah. Now, come back through, turn towards me into a runner lunge, and take another twist. Inhale. With the exhale, release the hand down, step back into a downward facing dog or a 3-legged dog. Shift forward to find a strong plank. Active plank. And bring the right knee to chest and back and left knee to chest and back 5 times. Right knee to chest and back, left knee to chest and back. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down onto your forearms. Stay really active in your elbows as you draw the elbows back. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower all the way to the ground. Open it up into Sphinx to start with. And then if you have the flexibility in your back and it feels good, activate those palms into the ground a little bit more and walk them back for a kind of a full cobra. Could be Yankee on the lower back, so just kind of be careful here. Maybe bending the elbows. Just coming up to a point where it feels really good on your front of the body, but not yanking in your lower back. Good. Release. Press back to a table pose. And just arch and curl a couple of times. Make your way back into downward dog. Deep breath in. And breath out. Bend your knees, press your hips back, look forward, inhale. Exhale, walk or float forward, forward fold. Rise all the way up to standing. Breath in. And breath out, palms to heart space. Feel your feet firm, your legs engaged, pelvic floor, navel pulls in and up, shoulders relax. Maintain awareness of your feet as you shift your weight into your left leg. Ooh, let's do a chair pose first, just to maintain that same sequence. Sink down, reach the arms back, stabilize your pelvis in neutral. Shoulders are externally rotating, but you're not yanking them up. For 3, 2, and 1. Take your time to slowly bring the right leg back and behind you for a stretch. Preparing for that dancer pose. And then expand those arms apart. Left arm is going down and right arm is reaching high. Coming through, balancing on that left leg. Finding your balance. Finding the soft gaze on the ground for drishti, and coming through your dancer pose. Hugging in towards the midline, tucking the tailbone under. And when you're ready, either stay here or press back. For 3, 2, 1. Landing the foot back in a crescent. Taking the arms overhead with the in-breath as you tuck the tailbone under and dip, or tuck that knee under as well. Start to dip and twist. Inhale, reach. Exhale, dip. Inhale, reach. Exhale, dip and twist. 2 more. Last one. Reach. Set up for Parshvottanasana, pyramid. Situate the torso facing forward, hips facing forward. Maybe a little bit of a back bend first before a nice expansive opening in the heart. And then an activation of both feet into the ground as you hinge forward. Forward fold. Now slowly start to shift forward, either into a standing split or that revolved half moon. Eventually releasing back down and stepping back in a downward dog or a three-legged dog. Release the feet for downward facing dog. Deep breath in. On the breath out, slowly release your knees down to the ground. Cross the feet and make your way onto your backs. Set up your feet under your knees to prepare for bridge pose. And just like we set up for that Sphinx pose with that back bend, we're going to do the same thing here, starting with the feet. Activate all corners of the feet on the ground firm. Press into your heels and really kind of start to press your lower back into the ground, finding a little bit of that Mula Bandha activity. And then press into the heels as you lift the tailbone off the ground and draw it forward. You start to walk your shoulders a little bit underneath you here while pressing into the feet and directing the heels isometrically back. And then finding that Uddiyana Bandha, that navel pulling in and up. And the neutral spine, so you're not bulging out your rib cage. Keep squeezing those glutes for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release and relax. Just a subtle rocking side to side. And then preparing for bridge one more time. Set up starting with your foundation in the feet. Pelvic floor, pressing of the lower back and starting to peel off that tailbone off the ground. Upwards. Remaining aware of that root lock and belly lock. And also starting to find that throat lock, the Jalandhara Bandha, or the chin lock, actually it's referred to. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release to the ground and rock your knees side to side. Come back to the center and cross your right ankle on top of your left thigh. And press your right knee away from you, externally rotating the right hip. And then slowly start to pull your left knee towards your chest and back down, foot to the ground. Knee to chest and back down. Again, knee to chest and back down. Finally, knee to chest and holding the pose, holding the stretch to your degree. Maybe interlacing the hands behind the thigh or on top of the shin. Maybe even wiggling a little and rocking slightly side to side to find the best place for a stretch for you. And now as you release your left foot to the ground, if you're doing a prone pigeon, do whatever you want before the next side. If you're lying down on your back, just extend the right leg upwards and bring it down and up a bunch of times. Good. Now find your way into that elongation of the right leg up towards the sky. At the same time, extend your left leg down. Now rock the right leg all the way to the right like a windshield wiper, and back to the center and all the way to the left like a windshield wiper. And keep doing this motion back and forth. And at the same time, as you twist now, next time, just stay there in the twist. Like we did at the beginning of class, you might adjust the placement of your legs to come into a modified twist. At the same time as your body finds the ground and finds the surrender to gravity, there's the invitation to open. Coming back through to the center. Take the knees to the chest and kind of circle them out and in like breast strokes. And then replant the feet on the ground, under your knees. And take another bridge pose. Here, in your bridge pose, you're welcome to, instead of taking a bridge, taking a wheel, if it's in your practice and feels good to you. Start to slowly lift the hips. Tucking the tailbone under and drawing length towards the heels, while at the same time activating the heels into the ground and isometrically drawing them back towards your hips. For 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release. And cross the left ankle on top of the right thigh. Pull the right knee towards the chest and press it back down. A couple more times. To the chest and back down. And then the last time, coming into the full stretch. And as you release your right foot under your right knee, plant it on the ground, and extend your left leg up towards the sky. Start to bring it down all the way and up all the way. And eventually extend through the right leg. And like a windshield wiper again, out to the side, back to the center, and over. When you feel ready to do so, you can hold your reclining twist. Coming back through to the middle For one final pose of your choice, you might like legs up the wall, where you lift your legs up, supported by a block underneath your sacrum. You might come into Baddha Konasana or happy baby pose, or potentially a shoulder stand. And then finding your way back into your Shavasana. Take a breath in and a deep breath out. And begin to once again usher in that deep, deep silence. Deep, deep stillness. Which permeates all things. Soften your body so much that it becomes porous. So that substance of stillness, that substance of silence and calm can start to penetrate and permeate and become all pervasive on a visceral level. Feeling the body center where the belly is, and the heart center. And letting the intellectual center kind of simmer in it as well. And it's like a handing over and letting go into that stillness. Tatsaviturvareniyam Bhargo devasya dhimahi Dhiyo yo na prachodaya Om Bhurvuvah Svaha Tatsaviturvareniyam Bhargo devasya dhimahi Dhiyo yo na prachodaya Take a breath in and a breath out. And slowly start to move your body to reawaken the senses. If you'd like to remain reclined, you're welcome to do that for the end of class. Otherwise, roll over onto your side in a fetal position. Slowly, gently come on up to a meditative seat. Bringing the hands to the heart space. Planting them on top of the torso or joining them at the heart. Dear mystery, great mystery of life, thank you for this day, for this breeze. Thank you for the community, our community. Thank you for the bird song. And this immense spaciousness, this deer holding, and the containment of this ground. May all beings be free from suffering, and may they all find peace and well-being. And we'll close together with the sound of Om. First, taking a cleansing breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. I thank you for allowing me to teach you today. The Great Spirit in me honors the Great Spirit in you. Namaste.